Hello, young inventors, and welcome to your first video with the breadboard on ElectroStart. And don't worry because it's gonna use some parts from the Inventor's Box videos, but the final video the circuit board is gonna be completely new and it's gonna be based on what you have in the ElectroStart box. So take the information from the Inventor's Box, and if you want something more from there, then you can uh, upgrade to the inventor's box, and you'll see how we can control everything uh, using our circuit board. In this lesson, we're going to build a working electronics circuit that lights up an LED, a tiny component that powers everything from indicator lights to TV remotes. But more importantly, you'll understand how electricity flows, what resistors do, how to read resistor values, using color codes, and how to build a reliable circuit from scratch. Okay, so let's dive into the world of circuits. First, what exactly is an LED? LED stands for light emitting diode. LED stands for light emitting diode. It's a small but powerful component that emits light when electrical current flows through it. Let's compare it to something you're already familiar with. That's called a conventional light bulb. A traditional bulb uses a thin filament that glows and produces lights when it heats up. But most of the energy is lost as heat. So if you look at the whiteboard, you'll see that 95% of it is wasted as heat and only 5% is converted to light. So an LED, however, is incredibly efficient. It produces light without heat, uses far less energy, and lasts much longer. So I've mentioned some differences between uh, a bulb and an LED. So a bulb gets hot when it's running, an LED stays cool. A bulb needs high current. LEDs use very low current. Bulbs work both ways, which means it doesn't need a polarity. So like this is an LED would need you to wire it correctly. So the plus side should be connected to the plus side of the battery, and the cathode, which is the negative side, should be connected to the negative side of the battery. So LEDs only work in one direction. And a bulb burns out quickly because it's just a filament that's heating up and it gets wasted soon. And LEDs can last a lot of time. One more thing to remember is that the anode side is which is the positive side, is longer than the cathode, which is the negative side, and we can see that here. Let me switch my camera, and I'll show you that these legs are not equal in length. So one leg is bigger than the other one, so this is the positive side, and then short one, this is the negative side. So this is the same for all LEDs. Take this off. Why do we need resistors? So LEDs are efficient, but they're very fragile. So the working principle is that these only require like 20 milliamps. That's the max they can sustain. And if you give them too much current, they can burn out instantly. That's why we use a resistor. That's a component that limits current flowing through the LED, protecting it. To figure out the resistor values, let's switch to the whiteboard here. Find out how what the resistor value should be for your circuit. You're going to use the Ohm's law, which is V equals I times R. V is the voltage here, I is the current, and R is the resistance. So let's say we have a 5-volt power supply. It's 5 volts here. We have an LED that uses about only 2 volts, and then we have 3 volts that would be going across the resistor. So that's using 2 volts, so this will get 3 volts. And then we have to find out what the resistance value should be for all of this equation. So the resistor is getting 3 volts, so let's write 3 equals and we need a maximum of 0.15. The LED can bear 20 milliamps, but we'll need to get lower than that, so 0.15, 0.015 times R. So let's find out what R is. R equals 3 divided by 0.015 R, and if you calculate that, R comes out to be 200 ohms. So how do we find out the resistance values on the resistor? What we do know is that we need 200 ohms or more than that. So like if you have more resistance, it can be bad. If you have less resistance, it will blow up. If you have more resistance, you're restricting more currents, so the current that's going into the LED is lower than what it actually requires, so that's okay. So most resistors do not have a number printed on them. You'll have three sets of three resistors in your Curiobox kit, and they use a color band on them. So let me just switch to my camera here. I'll show you. Okay, so you'll see that there's these color bands on them. Camera can focus on it. So let's just switch back to the whiteboard and see what our resistors look like. So you've got three sets of three resistors, and they look like kind of like this. So you see all these color bands they have. So let's count them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 color bands. And then we have a resistor color chart here that we're going to use to decode what the value of our resistor is. So let's begin. We're gonna start from the bottom because color band shows that there's three in succession, and then there's one out on the outside here. So let's start. Orange is our first line. Orange says 3. The other line is second band, which is 3. Then the next line is black. Black means 0, so that's 3. 0. And then this line is the fourth one is the multiplier. So the multiplier should be black. So the multiplier is 1. So we're going to do times 1. Then the last line is our tolerance. Tolerance is usually just how close it is to the said value. So the value here is plus minus 1%. So plus minus 1%. So the resistance of this resistor is 330 ohms. So let's see resistance. Yes, we found it out right. That's 330 ohms. The rest two are, they look the same, but you're going to do the calculation for them, and I'll attach the resistance card so you can see uh, and analyze what the resistances for them are. Now that we're done doing the calculation, let's find out what the actual resistance was. I have a multimeter right here. I'm going to use the multimeter, find out the resistance of our resistor. Set it to 2000, and I'm going to use this one. See, is 323 ohms. So it's close to our actual value of 333 ohms. And the rest of them you're going to find out, and I'll give you a worksheet that you're gonna fill up and probably see for yourself, and I'll give you the answers later. So let's move on to understanding breadboards. So what are breadboards? A breadboard, as you see here, this is a breadboard, and connected. So a breadboard provides you the capability to prototype. So it has a lot of pins inside, and that you can poke your jumper wires into. And then you can make circuits and prototype circuits actually to see and test your the projects that you're making. So let's dive deeper into what the insides of breadboard look like. Let's switch. So this is a breadboard, and as you can see, there's picture of it without the top on. So these wires, which go from A, B, C, D, E, and F, G, H, I, J, they are connected horizontally in this configuration, but they're connected vertically. And then these are called the power rails, the ones which are marked by red, and the green are component rails. So the component rails are connected horizontally in this picture, and the power rails are connected vertically. So all of these are joined. So if you look at this, and I'll mark it in red. If you put a wire here, all of these will get a current in them. And it's similar for the other one. If you connect it here, you'll get current in them. And if you connect the component rails, if you connect one here, then all of this rail will have current in them, current flowing through them. To test that, let's do a continuity test with it. Okay, I'll use my multimeter again in continuity mode this time. What uh, looks like. Let's do a continuity test. Put it into continuity mode. So these are the power rails. Let's connect them here. So continuity means that circuit is continuous, so like there's no break in it. So if these were not connected, the current would not pass through them, but if they are connected, so the current will go through. See, you hear that beep? That means that there is continuity in our circuit. So if I disconnect it here and then put it somewhere like here, these are not connected, so it's not going to flow through. That's that. Okay. See, these are connected and no current is passing through them. So let's now see how the component rails work. So the component rail here, we've put them through. So let's see if there's continuity. Yeah. So no continuity between the horizontal lines. If I put this like this, it's horizontal. If I put it like that, it's vertical. So there's no continuity in these lines, in these numbers. If I put it back in here, so I'll put the black wire in the fourth row. If I put this one again in the fourth, let's see if there's continuity. Okay. Yes, there is. So see, that's how breadboards work, and it's important to know that because when you're connecting stuff together to the breadboard, you don't need to you need to be careful so that you don't have a short somewhere, or you're not putting stuff where it does not connect. All right, kids, let's get on with the circuit. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of this, the positive end, and then you're gonna insert the wire here, and I'll attach the circuit layout with in the worksheet so you can understand better. And then on the other hand, I'm gonna attach the negative here inside this pin, like so. Okay, so now that our battery is connected, let's wire the LED. So I have some LEDs here. Let's pick one. I'll pick this one. Rather, I'll pick this one. So you see, there's a longer leg and a shorter leg. So longer leg is always positive. So I'm gonna put my LED like so, positive here, and then I'm gonna use this green cable. I'm gonna use here, here, and let's put our resistor on, and resistor goes here, and our final touch is connecting our negative side that goes here. So let's see if it is working, and if it's not, then I've done something wrong, which is the resistor is not in the same row as the LED. So I'll just put the resistor here, and my circuit will be complete now. There was a break in the circuit, and there you go. That lights up our LED. Alright kids, so I've added some troubleshooting tips in the worksheet. So if it's not working, you're gonna use those troubleshooting tips and see if you've got something wrong with your circuit. So most uh, of the time, you're gonna get the problem where the light doesn't light up, which is basically because there's a break in the circuit. So if I move things here, you can see that the light goes out like so. That's because uh, this end is very short and it doesn't go in properly in the circuit board. So I'm just if I just put it in, twist it around, put it in, and there it works. Also, make sure your batteries are completely in, because if they're not, gonna be a break, and if they're partially in, the light isn't gonna light up as bright. Okay, and that's about it, and see you in the next video.